Growing older is a journey filled with unexpected challenges and opportunities. As we age, we often find ourselves grappling not only with physical changes but with emotional, psychological, and social shifts as well. From a deeper awareness of time to confronting the changes in our bodies and minds, aging is a complex process that touches every part of our lives. But here's the good news: you're not alone. Countless people across the world are facing similar struggles and uncertainties. In today's video, we'll dive into 10 common challenges that come with aging and, most importantly, how we can navigate them together. Whether you're already in your golden years or preparing for this stage of life, the insights we share today will help you not just cope with aging, but embrace it as a time of growth, purpose, and renewal. Let's get started. 1. Facing the reality of time and mortality. One of the most profound realizations that come with aging is the awareness that time is not infinite. In our younger years, it's easy to feel as though we have all the time in the world. We make plans, set goals, and push our dreams into the distant future, believing that there will always be more time to accomplish them. But as the years pass, time seems to move faster. Days, months, and years slip by more quickly than we ever imagined. Many older adults express a sense of urgency and need to accomplish everything before it's too late. This awareness can sometimes bring anxiety, especially when combined with feelings of regret over paths not taken. In online forums and discussions, I've read countless stories of people who, in their later years, have had to confront this reality. One man in his late 50s shared how he had always dreamed of traveling the world. But life, raising a family, working, and financial responsibilities had always gotten in the way. Now, with his children grown and retirement on the horizon, he's finally making plans to visit the places he's always longed to see. The lesson here is clear: while time may feel more limited as we age, it's never too late to pursue your passions. The reality of time can be a motivator, an opportunity to focus on what truly matters and make the most of the years ahead. 2. Dealing with physical and mental decline. As we age, one of the most visible changes is the decline in physical ability. Our bodies don't move the way they used to. We might experience more aches and pains. Injuries take longer to heal, and we don't have the same stamina we once did. Mentally, too, we might notice slower processing times, forgetfulness, or even fear the onset of conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia. I've seen this sentiment echoed many times in online communities. One user in their 60s shared how they used to be an avid runner but can now barely jog without feeling winded. Another spoke about how they feel increasingly forgetful, worrying about what that might mean for their future independence. While these changes are difficult to accept, it's important to shift our perspective. Instead of focusing on what we've lost, we can adapt to new forms of physical and mental engagement. For example, I've found that swimming and yoga are kinder to my body now, allowing me to stay active without the impact of high-intensity exercises. Mentally, keeping the brain engaged is just as crucial as physical activity. Learning new things, staying socially connected, and engaging in mentally stimulating activities can help keep the mind sharp. Whether it's through puzzles, reading, or learning new skills, there are ways to keep your mind active and engaged well into your later years. 3. Loneliness and isolation. As we get older, Our social circles often shrink. Friends move away. Relationships change. And in some cases, people we've been close to pass away. For many older adults, this can lead to a profound sense of loneliness. If you're single or if your children have moved out, you may find yourself spending long stretches of time alone. Loneliness is one of the most commonly discussed challenges in online forums among older adults. Many people share stories of how difficult it is to make new friends at an older age, particularly when they're dealing with the loss of lifelong companions. This feeling of isolation can be compounded by health issues or limited mobility, making it harder to engage with the outside world. I remember reading a post from a woman in her 70s who shared how she had felt increasingly isolated after her children moved out and her close friends either moved away or passed on. The pandemic only heightened these feelings for many, cutting off opportunities for in-person socializing. But loneliness doesn't have to be a permanent state. Actively seeking out new connections and putting yourself in environments where you can meet others is key to combating isolation. Many older adults have found success in joining local community groups, volunteering, or even reconnecting with old friends. It's not always easy, but the effort to stay connected is essential for maintaining emotional and psychological well-being. 4. Regrets and unfulfilled dreams. As we reflect on our lives, it's natural to think about the paths we didn't take, the opportunities we missed, or the dreams that remain unfulfilled. Regret is a powerful emotion, and it's one that many older adults experience as they enter their later years. In a forum thread dedicated to reflections on aging, one man in his 70s shared his deep regret about never learning to play the piano. It was something he had always wanted to do, but life, work, and family had always seemed to get in the way. Now, in his 70s, he's finally dedicating time each day to learning, even though he admits it's much harder than it would have been in his youth. But here's the thing, it's never too late to pursue your dreams. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling, or revisiting a passion you set aside long ago, there's always time to rediscover what brings you joy. Regret can be a powerful motivator, pushing us to take action and make the most of the time we have left. The key is to focus on what you can do now. Your past doesn't define your future, and your unfulfilled dreams don't have to remain out of reach. Take small steps toward pursuing those passions, and you may find that the journey itself is just as rewarding as the destination. 5. Staying relevant in a rapidly changing world. The world is changing rapidly, and for many older adults, it can feel like everything familiar is slipping away. Technology evolves, societal norms shift, and what was once common knowledge becomes outdated. This can lead to feelings of irrelevance or disconnection from the younger generation. A woman in her 50s posted on a forum about how she felt completely out of touch with her teenage children. She struggled to understand their world of social media, online gaming, and digital communication, which made her feel like she was losing touch with them. This sense of irrelevance can be disheartening, but staying relevant isn't about keeping up with every new trend. It's about staying curious and maintaining an open mind. I've made it a point to ask questions, learn about new technologies, and engage with younger people in my life. This has not only helped me stay connected to the world around me, but has also given me a deeper appreciation for the ways in which society is evolving. It's not about being an expert in every new development, it's about staying engaged and open to learning. 6. Finding purpose in later life. As careers wind down and children grow up, Many people struggle with finding a new sense of purpose. The roles that once defined us, parent, worker, caregiver, may no longer be as central to our lives, leaving us to wonder, what's next? A woman in her 60s shared her journey of finding purpose after retirement in a popular online forum. She spoke about how she had always loved art but never had the time to pursue it while raising a family and working full-time. Now, in retirement, she has rediscovered her love for painting and has found a renewed sense of identity and fulfillment. Finding purpose in later life is about rediscovering passions and exploring new ones. For some, it might be taking up a hobby that they never had time for before. For others, it might be volunteering, mentoring younger generations, or dedicating time to causes they care about. For me, finding purpose has been about giving back to my community. I've started mentoring younger people in my field, and I've found that this not only helps them but also gives me a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. It's about recognizing that our value isn't tied to our productivity but to the love, wisdom, and experience we can share with the world. 7. Navigating identity shifts. As we age, the roles that once defined us, whether as professionals, parents, or even caregivers, begin to change or fade away. This shift in identity can be disorienting, leaving us questioning who we are without the titles and responsibilities that once gave our lives structure and meaning. A woman in her 60s shared her story of feeling lost after retiring from a successful career. Her job had been her identity for decades, and without it, she didn't know what to do with herself. She found herself waking up in the mornings with no clear direction, struggling to fill her days with purpose. I've been there too. When I retired, I faced a similar sense of displacement. But over time, I learned that this period of uncertainty was an opportunity to rediscover myself. I started journaling, reflecting on what truly mattered to me beyond my career. I explored hobbies I'd set aside for years, like gardening and painting, and I reconnected with old friends. This journey helped me build a new identity, one that wasn't tied to a job title but to the person I had become over the years. Aging offers us the chance to redefine who we are, not based on what we do for a living but on who we are at our core. 8. Caring for adult children or grandchildren. As parents, we often think that our responsibilities end when our children reach adulthood. But in reality, many of us find ourselves continuing to care for our grown children or even stepping in as primary caregivers for our grandchildren. This can be both a joy and a burden, as we balance our desire to help with the need to protect our own time and energy. A man in his late 60s shared his experience of moving in with his daughter to help care for his grandchildren. While he cherished the time he spent with them, he also admitted feeling exhausted and sometimes overwhelmed by the demands of caring for young children in his retirement years. I know how it feels. My daughter recently went through a tough divorce, and I found myself stepping in to help with my young grandchildren. It's been a blessing to be so involved in their lives, but it's also challenged me to find a balance. I've had to learn to set boundaries, to say no when I need rest, and to find time for myself amidst the chaos. It's a delicate dance, but it's one that has taught me so much about love, patience, and the importance of self-care. Caring for others is a beautiful part of life, but we must also care for ourselves. 9. Adjusting to retirement and financial changes. Retirement is often painted as a time of relaxation and leisure. But the reality is that it can be a major adjustment, both emotionally and financially. For many, the sudden shift from a steady income to living on a fixed budget is a source of stress. Additionally, the loss of a daily routine can leave people feeling unmoored and uncertain about how to fill their days. A man in his early 70s shared on a forum how, after retiring, he struggled to manage his finances. He hadn't anticipated how different it would be to live on a pension compared to his previous salary. He also found himself with too much time on his hands, leading to feelings of boredom and a sense of purposelessness. When I retired, I went through a similar experience. The financial adjustments were challenging, but what surprised me more was the emotional aspect. Suddenly, my days were wide open, and I had to figure out how to fill them meaningfully. So I started volunteering at a local shelter, which not only gave me structure but also a sense of fulfillment. Financially, I learned to budget more carefully and found creative ways to stretch my resources, like downsizing and enjoying simple pleasures that didn't break the bank. 10. Coping with changing relationships. As we age, our relationships evolve. Friendships that once felt unbreakable may fade. Family dynamics shift, and romantic relationships might face new challenges. These changes can leave us feeling isolated or questioning the connections we once relied on. A woman in her 50s shared how her circle of friends had dwindled over the years. Some friends had moved away. Others had drifted apart due to life changes, and a few had passed away. She found herself struggling to maintain connections and felt a deep sense of loneliness as a result. I've seen relationships change in my own life as well. Some of my oldest friends have moved on to different stages of life, and it's been hard to keep in touch. But I've also learned that this is a natural part of aging, rather than mourning the loss of old connections. I've tried to focus on nurturing the relationships that remain and being open to new friendships. I joined a local book club, which introduced me to a wonderful group of people who share my interests. It's a reminder that, while relationships change, they can also grow and evolve in beautiful ways. Embracing the journey of aging. Getting older is challenging, but it's also a privilege denied to many. It's a time of transition, reflection, and, most importantly, growth. The hardest parts of aging are often the most valuable opportunities for learning and self-discovery. Yes, there are losses and hardships, but there are also joys and triumphs. We have the chance to look back on a life well lived, pass on our wisdom, and embrace the person we've become. Aging isn't the end of the journey, it's a new chapter, rich with possibilities and experiences waiting to be had. So, as you navigate the complexities of getting older, remember that you're not alone. There's a community of people who understand, who have walked this path, and who are ready to support you. Share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. By sharing our experiences and supporting one another, we can turn the trials of aging into a source of strength and wisdom. Embrace this time with grace, resilience, and an open heart. After all, the best is yet to come. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story with us.